Oh, Spyderco. Welcome back, everybody. Let's talk blades, because you know that's what we're into. Today, I have for you guys another Spyderco, but this Spyderco is not any ordinary Spyderco. I don't think any Spydercos are actually ordinary, to be honest. This one's kind of a special one to me. One of my, kind of the diamond of my Endura collection. This is the Spyderco Damascus and titanium Endura. And yes, it comes in this really nice zip-up case carrier. And here it is. Nice little felt interior. It's really nice. Handle scales are titanium. And the blade steel is a Damascus, very special Damascus. I'm going to have to kind of see it right there. You can... It says Spyderco on there, and it says DPS 15 and VG 10. And then on the other side, it says Seki City, Japan. There it goes. That's a better view. Spyderco DPS 15 and VG 10. Very beautiful. No, I have not carried this. I've only taken off the protective plastic on it on both sides and haven't used it for anything. It's just one of those that I love the Endura model so much that this was one that I really, really wanted. And I ended up getting it. Sometimes it's nice to spoil yourself once in a while. When I purchased this knife, though, there was only 3 left, so I highly doubt you're able to find it. But if you are, cool. I don't think these are numbered. They're not being made as often. Very pretty knife. So let's go ahead and get into the specs. Of course, we already know it's an Endura. So if you want to know the specs, it's going to be the same thing, but I'm going to do it for this video just for the heck of it. So, almost a 4-inch blade with an overall close to 9 inches. And what the heck, why not? We'll do the weight on it and see where it stands. Alright, you're looking at a 4.22 ounces. That's not bad. It's still under 5 ounces. And let's see how thick it is. 8.2 at the handle. And a 2.1 on the blade. But yeah, this is just one of those kind of knives that special, you know, it's very special. It's a little rough on the opening, but what you see on there is oil. The last time I handled it, I wanted to put more oil on it just to keep it safe. Keep it in good standing. One person ended up... I knew a guy who had one of these, and his blade was rubbing up against the handle scale, and I felt sorry for him because every time he opened it, you can hear the like it was rubbing up against something, and I was like, oh no. And I looked at it and I was like, what happened? He goes, well, titanium is not as strong as you think. And I was like, what does that mean? Titanium is really strong. Apparently he got into a fight with his brother or brother-in-law, so I can't remember. He took the knife. No, his brother took his knife. Threatened him with it. Cops were involved. It was really ugly. What ended up happening was they got into a scuffle, and he wasn't stabbed or cut or anything, but he was able to knock the knife out of his brother's hand, and it took a tumble as it was open. And as it took a tumble, I don't remember the part of the story how it bent. I think it either hit some steps. I think they were fighting on some like cement stairs at an apartment complex when it happened, or I can't remember if it was in his backyard. I can't remember where it was, but it hit something. It took a tumble and it hit something, and the handle scale kind of bent in a little bit. And that's what caused the blade to grind up against when it was opening and closing. So basically you would hear it like grind up against the handle scale when you close it and when you open it. So that made me feel bad. He said he tried to do the very best he could to fix it, but taking apart an Endura to me is a nightmare, because there's a certain way you got to put something in there. You got to make sure everything's lined up, and it's just a pain in the butt. He tried to do it, and it was so badly bent that it still took some time, just to even get it to open and close, but it still grinded up against. I mean, it made me cringe. This is a very expensive knife. I think this is a $200 or $300 Endura, but still, I liked it so much that I ended up looking and finding one for myself. So he was like, "I'll just give you this one." I was like, "No, you can keep it. I don't want to have to deal with that grinding and all that and fixing it and spending all that. I'll just get one for myself that I know is brand spanking new and good condition." He's like, "Oh, well, fine then. I was going to sell to you for a good price." I'm like, "Dude, I'll pass. Thanks anyway." So, but I understand, the concern. It's really thin metal, and doesn't matter what kind of metal it is. Everything has its limits. But I think his point was, when he said titanium is not as strong as you think it is, it's the way that things happened. It's a thin piece of metal, all right. It's gonna bend. There's gonna be some give somewhere. But I'm happy to have this one. I'm happy to have one of my own that isn't messed up during some sort of unnecessary altercation. But it is a beautiful knife. It is a very beautiful knife. Those titanium scales are nice and smooth, so you don't really get that grip on there. The only grip you have is on the handle itself or the shape. But you don't really, this is kind of, to me, this is a dress knife. This is something that you would wear on you, kind of as more than just an accessory, like a piece of jewelry almost, At least for us guys anyways, we consider our knives to be jewelry, depending on how pretty they are. Otherwise, it's just a user. You pull it out and you use it for what it's intended for. You cut things with it. That's what a knife is for, But I've heard people using their knives as pry bars and screwdrivers, which you're never supposed to do with a knife. And on a folder, it's the worst idea to baton with a folder, unless it's designed for that, or if it's a freaking cold steel that can withstand batoning through an entire mammoth frozen in ice, then maybe. But still, I wouldn't beat on my knives like that, because it's not designed for that. Different knives are designed for different things. So I digress. This is just a very pretty knife, and I don't think I'd ever use this knife in any way to damage it, because it's just so dang pretty. So it's a good knife. Spyderco is a great company. So I don't know. And yes, it did come in this zip-up case. I keep all my originals in the best condition I'm capable of keeping them. So, oh yeah, that's my review on this Damascus and titanium Endura. If you want one, look for one. I think this one I got from Amazon. Don't expect it to be cheap. It's not. I got this years and years back, so I'm not entirely sure if you're able to find it, but good luck to you if you are. I'm sure you can find it on eBay or other platforms, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks a bunch.